You didn't wake up today. No, you booted up. You powered on. You loaded the script, and you already know how the story goes. Work, pay, survive, and repeat. The alarm doesn't say begin again. It's a fresh start. It says rather you are still here and stuck, not free, not choosing, just enduring. And before your fingers can even touch your paycheck, it's already claimed. Rent, utilities, groceries, debt, and you don't even spend your income, but rather you surrender it. You don't manage your money, but rather you manage its scarcity. You manage stress. You manage the slow bleed of your life force into the pockets of large and all powerful corporations. You clock in, but not with purpose, but out of habit. You nod not with agreement, but out of fatigue. You comply not because you believe, but rather because you stopped caring altogether. This is apathy at its finest, hypernormalized. And when apathy reigns supreme, freedom doesn't just disappear in a blaze, but rather it vanishes into the abyss. You were told that you were free from the very beginning, free to choose, free to live, free to pursue happiness. But what they are really saying, and what they always should be asking, and you should be asking yourself, is to choose what? They flood you with options, endless menus, brands, click boxes, subscriptions, and things like that. They call it freedom, but with every choice in between, the same two cages arise when none of them let you leave the prison to begin with. And is that really choice at all? The thing is this, a great philosopher, Herbert Marcuse, warned us in One Dimensional Man in 1964, the range of choice is open to the individual is not the decisive factor in determining freedom, but what we can be chosen and what is chosen by the individual. You can choose your own phone wallpaper, your streaming subscriptions, your brand of toothpaste, the phone that you have, but not rest, not time, and not purpose. What we call normal life is carefully engineered with apathy, a silence so deep that you forget what your own voice even sounds like altogether. You were told that you were free, but freedom without excess is just theater. They say that you're free to travel if you can afford it. They say that you can rest if you can afford it. They say that you can live if you can afford it. Cafes, concerts, going out, doing fun things, open to all on paper and ideal, but in reality, gated by price and practice. What you are experiencing is not normal. Never allow anyone or anything to convince you otherwise because it will only get worse with what we are suffering from today. These large corporations don't just want you in debt, they need you in debt because a desperate worker is a compliant one. A tired population doesn't rebel, it obeys. It has been programmed. You have been programmed to get to the point where you are now. Debt is not a mistake, it is a leash around your neck. And every paycheck is a reminder of the chain that you're told to be grateful for. Marcuse also wrote saying that the people recognize themselves in their commodities. They find their soul in their automobile, their split level home, their kitchen equipment, their phones, the things that they buy, the things that they wear. They've sold you your own identity. They've made your obedience feel luxurious. And now they don't even need to control you because you have been taught to confuse comfort with freedom. Existentialists would say and ask, how do I find meaning? But you barely have the time to even ask the question. So the Stoics would say, well, focus on what you can control. But every year, what you can control shrinks further and further into nothingness. And now you see it in your own life. The streamlined and managed survival, optimized for corporate profit while your freedom evaporates quietly. It's not your fault, but it is your reality. And it's time that we start calling what it is.